right around the target location by now. But a fun fact that people don't know about the course is it has like some serious plumbing issues. They should have docked that carrier a while ago, but instead of going back to the U.S. for maintenance, they just sailed right over to the Middle East, and the personnel on that ship are they should have been home by now. So they're doing an extended tour. And the ship is having issues with plumbing, right? I know some people might be laughing in here.
It's their toilets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's their toilets. So, it's like a 45 minute to 1 hour wait. And, the last thing you want is angry and pissed off servicemen in the middle of a conflict. So, especially when they had anticipated that they were going to be home with their families by now. So, and then we have all the other things. There's so many other anomalies going on that, the mainstream media isn't reporting on. Like, for example, that the Russians and Chinese are there, that the Chinese and the Russians are giving Iran an enormous amount of intelligence. The fact that Iran upgraded all their air defense with sophisticated Chinese radars that are specifically designed to detect American stealth aircraft. They also got a missile, ground-to-air missile system with the Chinese as well that works together alongside their stuff that they already had with Russia and their indigenous stuff. They literally are making like 300 missiles a month. The mainstream media isn't reporting why Trump is dragging his feet. The reason why Trump is dragging his feet is because Iran is not Venezuela and they're not Iraq. They are a very formidable enemy and they can create some serious pain. Does that mean that the U.S. is going to lose? Of course not. The U.S. is going to win. But now they have to recalculate everything that they do because a first strike can have some very serious consequences. And Iran has been putting out a bunch of propaganda as well and saying we could do this and we could do that. We'll sink your air carrier, blah, 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 aircraft carrier. But I think right now, politically for Trump, he's moving very delicately because it's obviously it's a midterm season. He's not very well liked based on what's going on domestically with the ICE raids and everything else like that. And, getting into a war when he campaigned on no new wars, a full-on protracted war, would be very bad. So I think he's still kind of riding the high of the Venezuelan operation, thinking that he could get this done quickly and it won't be a big deal. But even his military advisors are telling him, like, yeah, dude, if you strike them, this is going to be a protracted war. It's going to create serious problems and be prepared to be in a full-on regional conflict. So, and there's more stuff than that, but I don't want to yap forever. But yeah.
Yeah, and obviously I'm gonna interview you later specifically about the Iran issue. But overall, what's your thoughts on Trump? It's been like a year since he's been in charge of power. How do you think he's done? You kind of are more towards Trump, right? So what's kind of I know you praise him when you disagree, when you agree, and you kind of attack him when you disagree. So give us your perspective on some of the I don't know, 2 or 3 things he's done well and 2 or 3 things he's done badly.
Sure.
Stop buying generic Viagra if you're over 40. You qualify for 9 tablets of 100 milligrams.
That is right. We are back in Orange City, Florida, which is quickly becoming one of my favorite places to play poker in Florida. And we are back for the 250, the multi-May room 250K guaranteed tournament. There's not many tournaments with a better structure than this. We start with 30,000 chips, and this is our first bullet. Yes, I said first bullet, insinuating that there's another one, but I want to go over a couple hands from this first bullet because they're interesting. In my first hand of note, the blinds are 500, 1K, 1K, and the button is going to raise to 3,000 chips. I have King 10 offsuit in the big blind, and I put in the call. The flop comes Ace, Queen, 4, Rainbow. And when I check it over to our opponent, he now bets out for 6,000 chips. I don't really understand this at all. This is a very, very large sizing, and when he's going to be c-betting this board at a high frequency, I think he should be taking a lot smaller of sizes. He just has so many hands in this range, and I almost feel like this is always a bluff. Why would he ever do this with a hand like ace, queen, ace, king, aces, queens, etc.? So it almost feels like some random suited connector that he just wants me to fold. And I think king high could be good. We could hit a gut shot. If he does have a hand like aces or queens, we're going to play for stacks if I make a hand. So I stick in the call, and the turn is no help. It comes another ace, bringing in a backdoor flush draw, but I check it over to him, and I'm pretty happy to see him check this one back. And the river is the jack. It gives us the nut straight. It's a paired board, and I think sometimes he could have a hand like ace, queen that would play this way. But again, why would they ever choose that sizing on the flop? I don't think they ever have any full houses here, is basically what I'm saying. Now, I think we have three different options. We could bet very small, we could bet very big, or we could check. And I actually think check is the best option because we've already decided that they probably just have a bad hand. But if they have a hand like pocket fives, sixes, sevens, something like this, they're just going to check it back. So I think the best option, the actual best option, is to just bet very small. But I picked the worst of all of these options, and I bet out for just under pots. I bet 20,000 something chips, and he doesn't think about it for very long and just fold. And just like that, we are building a nice little stack here in bullet one. We have 49,000 chips in our stack, and I decide it's time to lock in. But unfortunately, that doesn't matter because they're going to move us seats, and then we go really card dead. It's about 2 orbits before I look down at a hand that I can play. The blinds are now 1K, 2K, 2K, and I have Jack 8 offsuit. I only have about 37,000 chips in my stack at this point, so just under 19 big blinds, and there could be a case for just folding when our opponent raises to 6,000 chips, but I like to defend my big blinds, and Jack 8 is just far too strong to not be defending, so I stick in the call for the 6,000 chips. And I'm glad I did, because the board comes 8-5-3 with 2 clubs, and when I check it over to our opponent, he now bets out for 8,000 chips. Like I said, we didn't start this hand with a ton, and I think our hand specifically with a very weak 8 and is going to be extremely vulnerable to a ton of turn cards like any club, queen, king, ace, all make us feel really gross. I think it's just best to deny all of the equity that we can, and also maybe they put in the call with ace king or something and we go to the races, but that's what I do. I go all in out of position. I think this is the best route, and I'm so happy to avoid the snap call. That means we have the best hand. They're always calling with their overpairs, and now we wait. After about a minute of tanking, our opponent decides he's gonna stick in the call, and I am shocked to see our opponent has called us with king, queen offsuit. Oh god, not like this. The turn is clean, but the river is a queen. Well, bullet one. Okay, obviously not a very ideal way to bust out of the tournament, but we don't have to fret, okay? We have many more bullets and many more opportunities to make it to day 2. I'm going to go home, kick my feet up, wait for the flight that starts tonight, and I'll come back, get a little bit late for registration, and clear my mind because that's a little annoying, but again, it's okay. Let's go back, chill out, and I'll bring you back here once we're firing the next flight. I head back to my hotel and get some rest because, to be honest with you, that's just slightly tilting. Not super tilting. We're going to fire a bunch of bullets no matter what, but just a little tilting. So I took a couple hours, and now we're back. All right, it's a couple hours later. We're back. Orange City Racing and Card Club. The 250's going strong. There's still 3 flights left. I can still fire infinite amount of bullets, and I'm feeling good. Mentally charged up. The phone's charged up. I'm going to get a Diet Coke, and we're going to be good to roll. Let's go. That's right, we're back for bullet number 2, and once again, we're handed 30,000 chips in return for our $250 buy-in, and it does not take long for us to get involved. First hand of note, I look down at ace-5 of diamonds. There's a couple lips, and I'm going to make it 3,500 to go on the button. 2 players put in the call, and we are going to a flop. It comes 10-4-5. I have middle pair. They both check it over to me, and I think check is fine, but I kind of want to just keep my foot on the gas. I bet 5K. The first player folds, but the second player puts in the call, and the turn is a beautiful one. Oh, is it so beautiful. It is another 5. And now our opponent does something I wasn't expecting. He leads out for 5,000 chips. Well, if you have a worse 5 or a 10, we're going to play for all of it, my friend. I am all in, and he doesn't think very long before putting in the call. He has king 10 offsuit. We have to avoid a 10 for a full double up, and it doesn't come. That's right. First hand, we're getting a full double up. Let's go. We then lose a small one with ace-queen offsuit. The big blind defends. I c-bet flop, and then he raises, and it's a Pretty dry board. Jack 10-4 rainbow. I think ace queen can be ahead. I put in the call. The turn goes check, check. And on the river, he checks it over to me. And we could bluff, but I think ace queen has enough showdown. I check it back, and he just has a 4. So that's annoying. And then we pick up queen jack suited. And I love me some queen jack suited. In the small blind, there's a raise to 1,500. One player puts in the call, and I squeeze. I make it 7,500 to go. And then the original raiser goes all in. Everybody else is out of there, and I have a decision. I got to do some math. We basically need to have about 2.5 to 1, and this guy seems like a fairly good player, and we only need to have like 30% equity, which I'm hoping we do. So I stick in the call, knowing we're behind, and we are, but it's a good scenario. He has ace-3 suited. He's got to win a flip one time.
If you have foamy yellow urine and don't want to get hooked up to a dialysis machine, you need to hear this. Drinking more water won't fix this. Staying hydrated is important, but when your kidneys are damaged, drinking more water just overloads a system that's already failing. The toxins stay trapped because your nephrons, your kidney filters, can't filter them out. If drinking water were the solution, why does your urine stay foamy no matter how much you drink? Why do doctors put people on dialysis machines that cost thousands of dollars per session and keep you hooked for life just to do what your kidneys should do naturally? Now, if we go back to your question about foamy urine and lower back pain, it should be clear that you need to repair your kidney's filtration system. Here is my advice. If you want clear urine and to stop living in fear of your next lab results, take Himalayan Shilajit twice a day, and you could see a visible difference in only 2 weeks. In 7 days, the fulvic acid starts binding to toxins and flushing them from your kidney tissue. In 14 days, you will notice your urine clearing up and less foam when you go. In 21 days, your lower back pain starts fading as your nephrons begin filtering properly again. In 30 days, you can...
So close, but no cigar. Unfortunately, we're going to take a hit to our stack here, but we're not done, okay? This tournament's a good tournament. There's lots of opportunities to accumulate chips, and I'm not giving up yet. With those last 2 hands, our stack now sits around 22,000, which is less than starting and less than ideal. But that's okay, because in this next hand, I have 9-5 of spades. When an early position player raises to 2,000 chips and 2 players call, I could definitely fold this hand, but again, you want to be defending a lot of your big blinds, especially in the suited variety, and this hand's going to be very easy to play, right? We flop a flush draw, we flop top pair, etc., or we just flop nothing, we fold. So I stick in the call, and holy crap, this is a pretty good flop. It comes ace, deuce, 4 with 2 spades. I have a gut shot and a flush draw. I check. The original raiser now bets out for 6,000 chips. Both of the other players in the hand fold, and it's back onto me. You know what's going to happen. I'm not going to call. I am all in for my remaining 20,000 chips, and he doesn't think about it for very long. He puts in the call. Bad news. He has king, jack of spades. So now instead of wanting a spade, we just want a 9, 5, or a 3 dealer. We get there. We make a pair of 5s. Somehow that is good enough to win this hand. We are now up to about 50,000 chips. And then I play one with pocket aces where I raise to 2K, a player that I just played with. I'm sorry, buddy. Goes all in. I call. It's aces versus ace king, scooping in another pretty big one. And we are up to over 60,000 in chips. Let's go. In this next hand, I 3-bet ace-8 suited against a button open from the small blind, which is a little bit loose, but I'm trying to play very aggressive. There's lots of flakes in this tournament, and I want to accumulate a lot of chips going into day 2. The player on the button ends up putting in the call, but when I c-bet the flop, they fold. The blinds are continuing to go up. We're playing 500, 1,000, and I've accumulated a stack of over 88,000 chips. Is almost 3x starting. We'll take it, and we are feeling very, very good. In this last hand at this specific table, I get to the turn where I turn a flush draw and an open ender with my 7 of spades. I jam 2x pot. and my opponent thinks about it, but ends up folding. I'm loving the aggression we're showing today. It is now time to switch tables, and I get to be the one to color up all of the black chips. Admittedly, this is my first time ever doing it. I've been the chip leader before, but other people have had more black chips, so they've been the ones to do it. This is my first time, so I feel a little special. In this next hand, I raise 10-7 of clubs up to 3,000 chipperoonies, and only the big blind puts in the call. Now, the big blind is the player from earlier when I had ace-5 of diamonds and he had a 10. So, we have a little bit of history here going to a flop, which comes okay. It comes ace-7-5 with 2 diamonds. When he checks it over to me, I am going to c-bet this board. Ace-high, have middle pair, flush draws, whatever. Lots of things that we can get called by that are worse than our pair of sevens. I bet out for 2,500 chips, and he pretty quickly puts in the call saying, this sounds like a bet that's trying to see if I have an ace. Yeah, sure. The turn is an innocuous 3 of diamonds. It brings in the front door flush draw, but I can't imagine it being that relevant of a card outside of that. But when he checks it over to me, he can still have plenty of ace-x type holdings, and he can still have a flush. So I decide to check this one back, exercise some pot control, and the river is a blackjack. And now he bets out for 6,000 chips. In all honesty, I think this is really bad of me, but I decide to put in the call. But before I tell you what he has, I just think if he was bluffing, he would go a lot bigger. But also, what could he be bluffing with? What? Literally, what bluffs are there? Pocket fours with a diamond? There's like no bluffs. So I think this is really bad. I got curious, wanted to see his hand, put in the 6,000 chips, and he has 3-5. 3-5. So he has bottom 2 pair. I like the c-bet. Got called by a worse hand on the flop, but yeah, probably don't need to put the chips in on the river, but you live and you learn. On to the next one. And the next one is a doozy. I pick up pocket kings and raise it up to 3,500 chips, and only the big blind is going to put in the call. Now, the big blind is a foreign woman. I'm not sure where she's from, but her and I have played a decent amount of hands together, considering she lives in Florida and I live in Minnesota. We played a lot of day one of last year's tournament together. So I actually know a little bit about her, and she knows a little bit about me. But what I do remember is the hands that we played, she called down turn and river, and I showed my cards, and I showed that I had it each time. So I think that is something worth considering. She's going to remember that. She seems like a solid player. But anyway, the flop comes amazing. It comes king 4-4 rainbow. So we have top set, which is also a full house. And how are we going to get any chips in the middle? When she checks it over to me, I'm going to bet as small as possible. You ever seen somebody bet one big blind? Well, I'm about to do it. 1,500. I bet out one big blind, and she puts in the call. Now, the turn is an offsuit 8. It brings in a flush draw, but we have a full house, so it doesn't really matter. But when she checks it over to me, it's time to still put some chips into the middle. I think she's going to have some ace highs, some pocket pairs like 6s, 5s, maybe even 7s and 9s. She could have 8s, or she could have a 4. I bet 6,000 chips, and she doesn't think about it for too long before, once again, putting in the call, going to a huge river here, and it's an offsuit ace. Now, it's very difficult for her to have a king in this situation. So what's the most likely hands she has? Well, I think she's going to have split between a couple hands. Maybe some ace jacks, some ace tens, maybe some ace queens that doesn't 3-bet pre-flop and does not believe me. She's going to maybe have a king, but again, I can't really count on that. And then she's going to have some low pocket pairs that are just literally never going to call. So I'm not sure what to do in this spot, to be honest, but I've seen some really good players on the internet do some cool things where they go big. So that's what I'm going to do. I bet out for pot 25,000 chips, and she snap folds. She just absolutely snap folds. Nice fold. I'm sure she had something, but we will never know what that is. And it's still going to be nice. We're scooping in a huge pot and building some momentum. At this point in the tournament, the blinds are 1K, 2K, 2K, and I have just under 100,000 in chips, and that's when I look down at pocket sevens. I'm going to raise this one up to 7,000 chips from the small blind. Some blind-on-blind action here, and the big blind puts in the call. The flop comes okay. It comes king 6-5 rainbow, and I think I would just prefer to start with a check In cash games, that's what I prefer to do, and you can still get a lot of information from people, even in tournaments, but that's not what I do. I bet out for 5,000 chips, and our opponent instantly jams for 40,000. So, obviously I fold, but they are nice enough to show us ace-king offsuit, and all of a sudden, I feel like I have this new life, because if they had just gone all in for 20 big blinds, like I think most people would, I would have like 35,000 chips, and we would be in not great. We would not be feeling very good. In this hand, the blinds are 2,500, 2,500, and I'm going to open it up with Jack 10 offsuit. I think I'm getting a little ahead of myself and playing too many hands. Constantly trying to not play too many hands, or not play too tight, but not play too wild. I just think this is too much. Anyway, I'm in middle position. I guess you can say whatever. But two players put in the call, and the flop comes pretty good. It comes Jack 5-5 with 2 spades. Now, it's worth noting, in the middle of this hand, we're talking about the best waters to drink, like, luxury waters. And I'm like, oh, Aquapana's the best. And some people are like, yeah, Aquapana is the best. The guy across from me, he's not trolling. He says Ice Mountain is the best water he's ever had. Ice Mountain. Then he starts talking about Dasani. Bro, kick this kid out of the tournament. I don't care. Kick him out of the tournament. Anyway, back to the hand. I have top pair. They check it over to me. I'm going to bet. I bet out for 4,000 chips, and only one player puts in the call. Now, the turn is an offsuit ace. There's still the front door flush draw, but when they check it over to me, I think they're going to have hands like Queen Jack, King Jack, and we're probably not going to get called by all that much worse. This is the lady from the Pocket Kings hand. And, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think she's going to give us action. I think she probably perceives me to be on the tighter side. I haven't shown down any bluffs against her. So when she checks it over to me, I think this is a fine card to just check it back. And the river is a 7. The front door flush does not come in. There's no straights. And now she bets out for 11,500. And I actually think about this one for a long time. I don't know if she would do this with a hand like Queen Jack or King Jack. She might, and if she does, then this is a very, very bad spot for us to be in. She's going to have some ace-high floats, but considering that the flop was 3 ways, I think there's not a ton of those in her range. She could have a 5, but there's a lot of missed flush draws as well. I don't know. You guys let me know what you would do in this spot. I shouldn't be in this spot because I should have just folded pre-flop and not raised this one up, but after a long tank, want to give her credit for having some bluffs in the spot. I put in the call, and I'm very happy to see a Jack with a low card. And then I flip over my cards and realize she has Jack 7. She just rivered a better hand than I have, feeling stupid and feeling like an idiot. This is low-key a pretty big pot, and it's going to hurt our stack a decent amount.
File your own taxes 100% free. Credit Karma app by February 20th. If you didn't file with TurboTax last year.
Decent amount. Okay, I currently have 5K of chips. I'm about to be the big blind, and it's going to be 3K. So, yeah, we got 20 big blinds. We need 27 more players to bust before we make it to day 2, but with this stack, we can't really make anything happen at day 2 anyway. So, we're going to have to double up, maybe double up twice. Yeah, we'll see you after this break. Now, that last hand wasn't very good, but to make matters even worse, after we come back from break, I enter the worst card death I have ever experienced in my life. I'm talking like 2 hours of not playing a hand. Like, I get a couple shoves through with like ace-jack, specifically ace-jack from the blind versus blind, but other than those 2 all-ins where I just recoup the blinds, I literally do not play a single hand. It's extremely frustrating, and when the blinds go up as fast as they do in this tournament, you're losing 7, 8, 10,000 chips every orbit. It's not sustainable. You have to find hands that you can play.
I have this. I haven't played a hand in an hour. This is not good.
Well, they move us tables, and hopefully that can shake up our luck, but it doesn't. I can't even defend my big blind. That's 7 deuce offsuit. You should be able to defend your big blind with everything. Anyways, I remained patient throughout all of this. Literally 2.5 hours of not playing a hand. We're only about 10 players away from the money, and then this happens. I pick up King Queen offsuit, and the blinds are 2.5K, 5K, 5K, and under the gun opens to 12,000 chips. Now, I had actually been conversating with this guy because he was also a short stack, and to be honest, he's opening under the gun off of not a lot of chips, and he's opening to 2.2x, which I think that's absolutely insane. And you know what's even crazier? This is the best hand I could possibly ever have. I'm going to have absolutely like 6 big blinds if I hold this hand. I'm all in, and he doesn't snap call. He only has to put in like 33,000 more chips to win a pot of like 65K. He's getting 2 to 1, and he opened under the gun. I'm like, what are you thinking with? And he shows me Jack 10 of diamonds and folds. I cannot believe my eyes. We will take it. That hand has a ton of equity against us, and we get to pick up a free 15,000 chips. We'll take it. Just a couple of shuffles later, and I have 60,000 chips, which is just for 12 big blinds, and it folds to me in the cutoff. I have Queen Jack offsuit, and I am all in. But this time is different. The player on our left puts in the call. Everybody else folds. And I have good news. He has Queen 10 of diamonds. We have him dominated. Dealer, please. This is the biggest part of the tournament so far. There's only about 7 players left until we make the money, and I need to double. Please. Oh, such a tease. Yes! That's a double. Come on, baby. I feel bad that we had to knock out our friend, but I needed that double so bad. Patience pays off with a little bit of good luck. All of a sudden, I have over 130,000 chips, and I'm feeling really good about making it into day 2. Shortly after this double up, we find out that we are hand for hand. Only a couple more players, and we're going to make it to day 2. We are hand for hand. We actually accumulate about 40,000 more chips while we're on the bubble. I jammed ace king and raised a couple bad aces, and everybody's very scared on the bubble, so we just picked up all of those pots. And then we find out we are bagging up, going on to day 2, and I have locked up 168,000 chips. Let's go, baby. Come on. Okay, so I have cashed this tournament back to back. Hey, is it too early to call me the GOAT? I don't know, but listen, I am very proud of myself. I'm proud of the way that I played. We were just really short stacked for a long time. We didn't force anything. We played well, and we picked our spots correctly. I made a couple tight folds. I made a couple, river calls where we lost. But for the most part, we were just really card dead on the second half of today. And we picked up some steam when it mattered, won some hands when we were all in. And, we have 168,000 chips. That is just short. It's over 30 bigs for tomorrow, ending with just short of 30 bigs today. Sunday, we will be back, and we will have 5K big blind. So it's going to be a battle. 75K for first is what I'm guessing. That's what I'm guessing. But you'll see it in the title, whatever it is. And I'm making the final table, goddammit. Let's go. Day 2, $75,000 up top. Let's go. We are back. It's day 2. First place is like $65,000. There's 240 players left, and I have 168,000 in chips. In the first hand we play, I have quite the decision. The blinds are still 2.5K, 5K, 5K, so I have over 30 big blinds, and there's a middle position raise. The player on their left 3 bets, and I have pocket 7s. I think some players better than me are going to find the jam here with the pocket 7s, 9s, 10s region. But I'm a scared little boy. This might be a misstep. I don't know. But I decide to fold. In the next hand, I have 10-4 offsuit. In the small blind, I raise this one up, and luckily the big blind folds, so we get to pick up the blinds very, very easily. Then I have 8-3 offsuit. That's not a very good hand. I have queen 4 offsuit. That's also not smoothly, and then this happens. I look down at Ace King of Diamonds. We're playing 3K, 6K, 6K. I raise it up to 12,000 chips. And then the player on my left raises. He makes it 25,000, just over a min raise. Everybody else folds, and it's back to me. Now, I've studied these spots. I know exactly what I'm supposed to do. It's scary, but I have about 28 big blinds in my stack. We really only have one option. We're out of position with a big slick. We have a lot of fold equity, and sometimes we can even get called by a worse hand. I look up at the dealer, and I say those two magic words. All in. I don't like what I see next. The player on my left calls before I even get the words out of my mouth. I don't even have to see it. I already know he has pocket aces. Man, it stings. Back-to-back day twos in this tournament, and I just can't get anything going. It hurts. It hurts. Not much to say. Ace King versus aces. Last time I was here and made day two, I busted out. My opponent had aces. They have aces again. So it turns out when you're here, a lot of times your opponents have aces. Nothing to be done there. It's 4-betting 28 big blinds with out of position with ace king suited, completely normal. He just happens to have it. We lose. The tournament was very top heavy. You want to have all the chips. You want to make it to top 15, top 10. And we're not playing for 150th place. So I'm happy with it. Unfortunate. Sometimes it's not just your day. And we move on. Appreciate you watching. I'll see you next time.
I asked my husband, when did you get so big? His confidence hits different with Rougiette Ready. It dissolves under his tongue, works in 15 minutes.
Alcohol is in decline. Alcohol is in rapid, permanent decline, they're saying.
Yes.
There's just a lot of people out there who just don't want to drink alcohol anymore. It's very detrimental to your health, to your decision making, obviously.
And notice how Mike is not addressing the real problem. He's doing everything but addressing the real problem. He's not telling you why guys don't want to go to the club anymore. He's not telling you why guys are drinking less. He's not telling you why dudes aren't interested with dealing with this bullshit. The reason why alcohol consumption is down is because it's insufferable, bro. That's why, man. The cost of pursuing women within the confinements of nightlife no longer is worth it. That is why. And young men nowadays are equipped with the knowledge to justify that decision, and they're aware that nightlife is a scam 99% of the time. So let's kind of build on this shit. A couple of days ago, I saw this breaking out all over the news, and it said here the alcohol industry has lost $830 billion in 4 years because Gen Z is not drinking. Okay, so this is something that I, predicted would happen, right? And it's already occurring. So it goes here, and I comment, I said, guys are waking up that drinking is only to get women. However, most women are insufferable. They don't want to waste their time, money, health, and energy in the pursuit of women like millennials did, right? So Gen Zers are bored because I would be considered a millennial. Anyone born in the 80s or 90s is considered a millennial. Gen Z are guys born in 1997 onward, right? 1997 to 2012. So basically the generation after me, like my brother's generation. This generation benefits from the red pill way more than my generation did. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have YouTube, right? It wasn't until we became adults that the internet was a ubiquitous thing. Does that make sense, chat? But now, these young people can go on the internet, get on YouTube, and handle any of their problem. right? A lot of people forget that YouTube is almost like a do-it-yourself app. The reason why YouTube is so popular is because a normie can open up YouTube and find out how to change a tire, right? How to, switch a light bulb, whatever. Then it morphed into like a more entertainment streaming platform. But people always forget that YouTube was like one of the original bastions in helping people with getting things done. And one of the problems that guys would use YouTube for was, how do I get girls, right? And as guys started putting, how do I get girls, now all of a sudden Fresh Fit pops up. Now Rollo Tomasi pops up. Now Andrew Tate pops up, right? Now other people in this side of the internet pop up. MGTOW starts to pop up, right? I know I haven't talked about MGTOW in a very long time. For those of you that are unaware, MGTOW is like kind of a movement within the Red Pill, right? Called men going their own way. Now, I remember that people used to scoff at this concept when MGTOW people would say, oh yeah, men are going their own way, blah, blah, blah. And they used to say, what the hell, bro? What is that? That sounds like some incel bullshit. Well, look, it's happening. It's happening right now. Because, the decrease in alcohol consumption isn't because, dudes are like, want to get super healthy. That might be a part of it. But the real reason is that drinking alcohol a lot of times is going to be intimately tied to the pursuit of females. And since most women don't want most men, and most guys struggle on the sexual marketplace, why are dudes going to be spending energy and effort going to the club and just getting cookies? And then on top of that, niggas like us say, yo, there's no point to go to bed. Get your shit together. There's no point, right? So on one end, people like myself say, yo, this is how women are. Get your sexual market value up before you even bother going to a club. Then on top of that, like I'm telling you this on YouTube, and then on top of that, what I'm telling you is being affirmed by your life experiences. Let me give you guys examples to really draw this. Right? In an imaginary world, let's say you're a blue pill normie, right? You're 20 years old, 5, 6 years ago. You're just fresh out of high school. You got your high school sweetheart. Things are going well. But after you guys graduate high school, she goes off to college. You beg her not to. You want to go with her, but you didn't get accepted to the school. You try to find a way to move with her over there. And through much pain and tribulation, you're unable to do it, right? She comes back for her first winter break, and you notice that she's distant. She isn't as into you as before. Now, all of a sudden, when you say, hey, I want to come visit you on campus, she has excuses. Now she has a new group of friends. And before you know it, you're getting hit with the... She breaks up with you. There's a girl that you spent the last 3 or 4 years with, and she breaks up with you. You don't know what to do. You don't know what's going on. You feel like the world's going to end. You talk with your buddies. They're like, don't worry about it, man. We're going to go out. We'll figure this shit out. Okay. You reluctantly agree. You go with them to the nightclub. You're approaching girls left and right, trying to hit on them, introduce yourself, and you notice a cold shoulder. None of them really engage with you in conversation. They look up at you for a second, they go back to their phone. As you try to start conversation with multiple women, they're getting pulled by their beluga whale friend. They're getting pulled into sections. You talk to 30 girls, strike out with every single one. You get 2 or 3 numbers, but you strike out with every other girl. You wake up the next day, groggy, feel like shit. You text those girls that you contacted, no response. You go hit up another girl that you went to high school with, hey, I'm single now. You want to hang out? Oh, yeah, sure. You guys plan a date? She flakes. So within the span of a few weeks, you lose your girl, you strike out horribly at the nightclub, a girl that you thought you might have been able to court or get with flakes on you and doesn't even show up. Frustrated, you take to YouTube and type in, how do I get girls? You find me. And not only do I explain why a girl would break up with you when she goes on to college, I also explain how nightclubs are a waste of time. And unless you got a section or you have your shit together or whatever, you're a chat, you're going to have a very difficult time. I talk about hypergamy. I talk about women. It's at that moment that everything clicks. Oh, shit. Does this nigga know me? What's going on here? He just connected the dots about why I have all these problems with females. I've always thought this, but I couldn't say it. Holy shit, I'm not alone. You get addicted. You watch more of our shows. You tune After Hours, see Female Nature there. You see our breakdowns of cultural events where women display horrible behavior, and then you become a supporter of the movement, right? But let's, kind of peel this back. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. I'm unapologetically describing, to some degree, your experience. That is why people watch this shit. This is why people care about what I got to say. Because I'm telling you guys stuff, or preparing you guys for stuff that your father, your uncle, your brother won't a lot of the time. Whether it's by their ignorance or because they don't know how the sexual marketplace works now, things have changed significantly. Now, let's go back to the original article here. Alcohol consumption is down. Well, why is alcohol consumption down? Alcohol consumption is down because men, like this scenario I just gave you, are realizing that nightlife, bars, etc., are simply not conducive environments to pick up women unless you're a high sexual market value guy. Average dudes are going to strike out. So if you take the fact
We flop a gut shot. We flop a gut shot and a flush draw. And I have pocket kings on the other board. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Over here we have pocket kings, limp, raise, 3-bet. I make a flush over here and we get led into, so I'm probably about to get stacked, to be very honest with you. But don't really know if there's anything else to do here besides just jam. No snap is good. No action with the kings. Everybody folds. This guy's really thinking, just have ace-jack with a club. That would be the best ideal situation to get called by. Oh my gosh. Let's go. Scoop. Holy scoop first hand. That's a huge pot. He has a flush and he was tanking. I'm sick. Oh my gosh. If he's tank calling with a flush, we probably shouldn't jam. But if he doesn't, late stream tonight. What's up, Andy, buddy? Welcome in, everybody. Yeah, guys, I had a long day. Filmed some long form stuff. Had to go play some blackjack. Had a lot going on. So the voice is actually pretty fried, and I apologize for that. But we're going to play some serious poker today. Try our best. Scoop first hand is crazy. 421 bigs already. Get no action with the kings over here, which is nasty. What's up, Andy, buddy? Isaac. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, friends. Let's see here. It's so funny. He has 6-3 of clubs. There's like no other like flushes that are smaller than mine. He just has those one single one. So funny. So funny. We got lucky, chat. What can I say? What can I say? Queen 6 suited. Should I limp in from the ultimate small blind here? Oil, what's up, Seth's little Jimmy? Andy said blue balling us. My bad. My bad, chat. We make the flush. We make the flush. I'm going to fold the Queen 6 here. Def not 1 a.m. here for me. Going to the casino. Let's go, Electric. It's your birthday? Come on, baby. Happy birthday, brother. That's sick. That's sick. It'll probably be a little bit of a shorter stream today. Little bit shorter of a stream today. We might not do as much casino. Might not do casino today. Might just do some polka. Might just do polka today, chat. Sending good luck your way, Seth. Oh, thank you, Golden State. I appreciate you. You know what you sent my way, Golden State? Aces. Just kidding. 10-6 offsuit. I got you, though, didn't I? You thought it was going to be aces. You thought it was going to be aces. Seth, you should play Club Division Gold Millions tournament on Sunday. I am. March 1st. The 218 chat. It's a Mystery Millions. Club WPT Gold. One of the greatest online tournaments that will ever grace our existence. If you guys want to play in it, use code SADDY. Club WPT Gold. We're currently in the chip dump stage of the day. So, like, one person at the table will randomly get gifted things, like, every once in a while. I don't really know how it works, but figured I would give my services to stream a little bit later and try and play on these. What's blind on this table? 0.10, 0.2, 0.4. We're playing 40 no limit. And I have a straight draw. Ace. It's not impossible. Not impossible at all, my friend. This guy has an OG name over here. His name's On Tilt. It's a pretty sick name. King 6, though, is not a very good hand. Hope you guys had a good day. Just enjoyed your work day. My day was long. So, again, the voice is pretty fried. I'm not going to lie. I filmed a lot of long-form stuff. Been playing any basketball lately? Good question, J-Breath. No. I haven't been doing a lot of working out lately. He raises, folds to me. Fold the King 6. I think it's fine. I don't know how wide we're supposed to defend the big line. Probably King 6 goes in there, to be honest. What's the difference between Club WPT Gold and WPT Global? Well, Club WPT Gold is legal to the United States and Canada. Global isn't. That's the difference. So if you guys are in the United States and you want to play poker, where I am playing right now completely for free, they have 3 free rolls every day, completely for free that you can play in. It's Google Ads certified, legal in 44 of the 50 states, including New York, California, Texas. So sick. Use code Sethi. Come play here. You can stream snipe. You can try and play against me right now. Use code Sethi. Get in there. Boca, why don't you hate Bofa? Bofa these nuts in your mouth? Ha 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 ha. Very funny. Are you good at poker? I'd give myself like a 6.5 out of 10. Any spin quest today? Love to see it because we need roulette after none yesterday. My bad, Andy. That one's on me, Brendan Hill. Guys, I don't know if you guys follow the Sethi Gambles channel. I posted the craziest blackjack session I will ever have in my entire life. I do not want to spoil it for you, but at one point in the video, me, Robbie, and Until Nick are down 16K. I don't want to spoil it, but obviously something happens after that. You just got to go and watch it. You got to go and watch it. Sorry, just seen top corner. Recovering. Yeah, recovering is fair. 2-3 off soon. I kind of want to put a hoodie on. We just had a couch delivered. That was fun. They delivered a big old couch. It's the wrong couch. It's not what we ordered, which is just hilarious. It's like that shit only happens to me, bro. They're giving away tickets rather than clicks in the chip gun. Oh, give me a ticket. I want a ticket. My WPT Gold account got beat, and I swear I didn't do anything. I just play the free daily. Well, you probably had to have done something, you know? Just reach out to support. James, they're saying that they got Mike. Yeah, what's up, Ryan? I got a Mike. 4-3 off, going every time. Guys, don't worry. We're going to get hit by the deck here in a second. We just played all the hands early in the stream. Queen deuce. That could win. If the flop comes queen, queen, queen. What's up, JJ Norm? He says, what? River Monster up here just milking the 14 big back. Come on, bro. L. Wish me luck tomorrow. I'm taking my engineering exam and I'm studying a little tonight. Good luck, Andy. Thanks for hanging out with us. But, brother, please prioritize your schooling over this stream. But I know you're already doing that. Good luck, brother. You're going to kill it. You're going to crush it. Everybody wish Andy good luck as he approaches the probably one of the biggest exams of his career. Thus far. Plenty of big exams coming up for, I don't know, when you're 50. You got to retake it. All right, I'm going to 3-bet the Jack-9 suited against this player. It's going to go on the larger side with all the dead chips out there, plus the antes. Just chip over to Papa, hey? Just chip over to Papa. I have one of the sexiest suited connectors in the game. And, guys, it's like the two-table madness. Like, this is the flop we want for Jack-9 suited, but it came over here, so that means it's going to come, like, Ace 4-4 all hearts or something, or all red cards. There it is. See, it's never good on both. I'm sick. Think small good. Going to be range betting this board, most likely 10. And now we have to ask ourselves, how can we proceed here with Jack-9 of spades? I think check is fine. Hey, Seth, we can't hear you stream. I can hear myself. Just have to fold. Am I muted? You might want to refresh. Might want to refresh. I can hear myself on my computer. Just so you guys know, I'm just not talking extremely loud over here. We would have had trips. Guys, you should always play every single hand. But we have ace king, so what do you want from me? What do you want from me? What are the chances you get stream sniped? I have a little bit of a delay on, so don't worry about it, you know. It's where we protect ourselves. Ace king here. Oh, nice flop for ace king. Jack or 10-5-3. Awesome. Single raise pot. Check. Might just want to check. I don't know what else you want from me. That's a tiny little wing. Look, 8 into 39, I'll float one time out of position. Jack-9 is the best hand pre-flop. I agree. Look at that king, bro. Look at this little small little... Oh my, what is that river? Dude, he always has a 10 here. Watch this. Check call. I check call. What do you have? Pretend you don't. Give me all the chippies. Give me the chips, bro. 7-8 of hearts. You're not supposed to bluff that hand, my boy. You are not supposed to bluff that hand, my boy. But what do you do when you get to 8, when you get to the river with 8 high? What's the promo code again? Guys, if you want to play where I'm playing right now, Sethi. Just use code Sethi. You get a free 5 chips whenever you start playing, by the way. Also completely free, Google Ads certified. You know all the words. But yeah, use code Sethi on Club.pt Gold, completely free to play. James said we're dumping 20,000 chips Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. PT. So I'm now for James. I appreciate you. Thank you, James. Appreciate you being here. That was a nice little win there, Jeff. Nice little, what was that? Like a nice little 140 big blind pot. We'll take 140 big blind pot. Easy peasy. AI about to take all our jobs soon. Good thing AI. Why am I frozen? All right, we're good. Sorry, I thought I was frozen there for a second. AI can't reproduce what I do, right? If you can find an AI model that can build an actually comedic poker skit the way I do it and get 1 million views in less than 24 hours on YouTube, I will give you $100,000. That's not binding. Mike has been good the whole time. Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. Guys, I'm going to throw a hoodie on. Don't yell at me, all right? I'm watching. I just got to put a hoodie on. I'm a little cold. Aren't these tables sick? I think these tables are sick. 8-3 on the other table. Guys, getting on the chip dump tables is actually really hard. There's so many people playing right now. There's so many people playing right now. All right, we got a hoodie on. Hoodie mode activated, chat. Now I feel like a true gremlin. Hoodie mode activated. Should I use code Doug or code Sethi? Code Sethi, baby. It's Sethi, not code Sethi, just so you know. Can you hear fine? Good. I'm locked in, chat. I'm locked into just one stream at a time, building this bankroll back. Because, we play silly, right? We play like a little silly goose. So I torched 700 chips, playing like a silly goose, playing huge tournaments. I'm just going to grind it all back. Prove to you guys that I can win at 40 no limit. And that's the ability to coach and talk about my abilities. Because if I can't beat 40 no limit, then I shouldn't even be talking to you guys, Like, you guys should just ignore everything I say. But I'm going to prove it to you. We're on a 400 chip upswing right now. Just going to check this board. Going to raise pots. Have no intent to put any chips in the middle. It's a horrible board for us. When you go into the barrel, there's going to be an announcement of when I'm coming to the barrel next for a very specific reason in like March. So look for that, brother. Is it with real M word? Rubber, that's not really the terminology we like to use here on Club WPT. It's a bit more complicated than that. But the short answer is yes. Use code Sethi, come play. Check. Guys, what the hell is going on? Do I have a straight? No. 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. I could have a straight. I'm just going to fold 4, 5, 2 down on the other table, which makes me really sad. Guys, ace high can literally never win unless they both have king jack and queen 10. Show me king jack and queen 10. Oh my gosh. Almost. He has ace queen though. Hey, Sethi, how come you don't play the 2051 games? It's not that different from these ones. I totally agree with you. I don't think they're that different at all. The only thing is when I'm not streaming, I'm usually playing the 100 no limit games. But I mix between the 40 and the 100 depending if the games are good or not. But when I'm streaming, it's just a bit too much mental. I would like to, and I only have 17 buy-ins or 16 buy-ins currently, so I would like to have, at 40 no limit, I have like 42 buy-ins, so it's a bit nicer of a room if I go on a little bit of an unlucky situation, Been getting serious about poker recently. I love watching your vids and keeping poker in my head every day. Love you, Sethi. I love you too, SA, man. I appreciate you, brother. Good luck out there, man. Good luck out there, and poker is one of those games that you continue to learn no matter how good you are, so never turn off the brain, One day, 1 million, March 1st, 218 buy on market calendar. That's right, James. Guys, I'm going to be playing it. I'm streaming it. I get back from Austin, Texas. I'm going to be playing for launch Thursday and Saturday. I get back here at 9 a.m. from Austin, Texas, and I'm streaming the 218, the millions, bro. I'm streaming the millions on WPT Gold. I'm so excited. 218. Shout out to Club WPT Gold. Use code Sandy. Golly, man. I would have had a straight. Queen, deuce, deuce. I'm sick to my stomach. The fiance is making dinner, and I can smell the broccoli from a mile away. God, broccoli just has this smell to it, doesn't it? Doesn't it just have this smell? Let us get the merch in UK. US exclusive, no good. The next place that I drop merch, I will make sure it's available internationally. I appreciate you wanting to support. That means a lot to me. Splashy Fool won an award for Gold Million at 51-2. Good for him, bro. Opening Jack 10 offsuit from the hijack. Hello. Hello. Hello, Trips. Hello, Trip 10s. Wow. All of that for nothing. What do you have? Bro, you gotta have something. Ace high, good. Aren't you scared someone is stream sniping you? No, I have stream delay on. Look at this. That's why you play every hand, guys. I tell you. I don't just show you when it's the case. I show you every time. Okay, I have 9-10. I would have flopped 2 pair. This guy has 7-8. I'm gonna turn a 10. It would have been the biggest pot of my life. 4 no limit is so bad. Guys, you can play literally anything below like 100 no limit. All the players suck. And I'm not joking. The players are really bad. And I know it's not any of you guys, right? It's not you guys. You guys all rock. But the players suck. Aces, ace 9. Hockey. Over here, we would have had an open ender. Again, for every hand, guys. Why not? I hate studying more despair. Yeah, well, listen, there's points where you don't have to study, but when you hit ruts or you want to, improve or play bigger games, then you should restudy, Hello, bottom pair. Sorry, you guys. I opened ace 4 suited and went for calls. I think that's what happened. I guess I don't know. Check. You don't have to arrange bet boards like this, but if we did, we would go large. And now we're probably just going to end up checking this down. Or turn a 4 into a bluff. Should I turn a 4 into a bluff? No. Maybe we have to now. I don't even know. How do you bluff after you go check, 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 check? 17, 40%? No, sorry, 30%. Very small. Should I just try and bluff? I'm just going to try and bluff. That's probably a really badly played hand, but I don't know how I get there and play any differently. But I also don't think I ever have the best hand. So I can't call, so I just fold. Probably should just fold. But I block sets of 4s, Jack 4. I block, all this stupid top stuff. Whatever. I tried my best. But how do I even have a good hand after checking twice? How can I ever bluff after checking twice? I don't get it. Maybe I just never checked twice. It doesn't make sense. Straight flush. No, open ender though. Hello, open ender. Hello, underground pocket 9. Solver says we should fold, but I don't care. I'll take this flop over there. Half pot. This is probably the best hand we could bluff with an open ender. Or Jack 10, I guess. Jack 10 of... Oh, hello. Perfect. Cool. Hey, how about a set? I check. Nice, I have a pair. I have a full house now. I'm going to check back on the 5, 7, 9 all clubs because would this be the craziest value bet of all time? Value betting against ace high back to flush. Chop. Putting chips in the middle here with 9s, set of 9s. Can't call it by single club hands, some gut shots. Again, like, I don't really, I have to go for value, right? Like, it would be so nitty to check this back. He checks turns, so he never has a flush. Maybe we even go big, even bigger. 80%,